Good morning. Morning, everyone. Just gonna wait, as usual, a couple more seconds till people come on. We have a really juicy topic today. At least I think. And this is especially for people that are single. So if you're single, I would definitely tune in. I'll just wait a couple more seconds. I know the notifications take a while. I hope everybody had a good weekend. Mine was exhausting, but it was good. Alright. There's quite a few people on now, so I'm going to begin. Okay, so this is especially for people that are single. I've been single for a really long time now, so I've been in the dating game for a while. And being a highly sensitive person and an empath, it could be really, really difficult. Especially with a lot of things that don't work out. I've had like a lot of 4 to 5 month, I don't want to call them flings. I feel like that degrades what they actually meant to me, but I've had about quite a few in the time that I've been single. So anytime you have to say goodbye to somebody and let go of something, it's really hard, but it teaches you how to do it, and I understand that's why I am going through it, and these people were just not the right people for me, and I'm okay with that, and I'm accepting of that, but I can say that it's really hard as a HSP and an empath, so I'm sending so much light and love to you if you are dealing with that as a single person. Okay, so being single, there's this thing, and for people that have been in a relationship for a long time, they probably haven't heard this word, but it's actually called ghosting. So what this word means is that you're talking to somebody, maybe you've been on like a couple of dates with them, and they just completely stop talking to you without any explanation. And you don't know what happened. Hi, Deanna. Good morning. Yeah, so ghosting is when somebody completely stops talking to you without any explanation, like they just stop answering you. That's whether you've been on a few dates with them, one date with them. I've heard of instances where somebody was seeing somebody for like 2 to 3 months and then somebody ghosts them. So it could be really hard because it kind of hits you out of nowhere, and you're kind of wondering, like, you start asking questions like, did I do something wrong? What happened here? You're just kind of left like dumbfounded about the situation. And it's a really awful feeling. I have felt that feeling quite a few times as well. And it's really frustrating, and a lot of emotions come with it. Anger, frustration, sadness, annoyance, all of those things. So I want to talk to you today about why people may do the ghosting, but I have to say it's not, they're more of like spiritual reasons. It's not really about like, oh, they didn't like you or you weren't a good fit or anything like that. It's really about like what is going on internally and emotionally with them. Could be a possibility. So I just wanted to share these and maybe bring some healing around the situation and some peace about it, because obviously when people do this to other people, it really doesn't end in a way where there's a lot of inner peace. So, hold on, guys. Let me shut off the sound on my computer. Okay. So I kind of wanted to share all of this with you guys. And then at the end, I'll talk about what is an appropriate response to something like this. And, of course, this is all of my opinion. Oh, and by the way, I didn't introduce myself, so I guess I will now, just so you're like, who is this girl talking about this stuff? My name is Justine Luzzi. I'm a spiritual life coach, a mentor, and healer. And I really deal with a lot of stuff dealing with highly sensitive people and empaths. So I love talking about that type of stuff. I'm an empath. My favorite definition of an empath is when you're deeply affected by other people's energies and emotions and have an innate ability to intuitively feel and perceive others. being an empath is much more than being highly sensitive. It involves special intuitive gifts. So I mentioned them earlier in this live broadcast about how it may be a little bit more difficult for highly sensitive people and empath to kind of deal with this ghosting situation. So this is really for you guys, and I'll begin now. So the first reason that I think that people actually ghost is, I love this saying, and I might butcher it a little bit, and I wrote it down. People will only meet you where they meet themselves. So what does that mean? What does that mean? So basically, people only operate the way that they know how to operate, right? So when things get tough and people don't know how to deal with things that get tough, like maybe they did lose interest in you, they actually don't know how to express that. So just because you know how to express your feelings, we can't count on other people to know how, if that makes sense. So basically, we can't expect babies to walk, right? Like, it's something that they have to learn. And these people that are ghosting us, they have to learn how to express themselves when they are feeling that this isn't working anymore, And it's just even like a simple text or, a simple, hey, I'm not feeling us anymore. I'm really sorry. Good luck with everything. Just a simple ending to something that meant so much to the other person. It's just common courtesy, but it's not common courtesy to everybody, right? It's easier, right, to not answer somebody or express how they feel. They don't want to face it. So yeah, it's when we can't expect. I'm sorry, somebody texted me. Give me 1 second. Okay. So we can't expect other people to operate the same way that we would operate, if that makes sense. Yeah, so, okay, so the second one, it's kind of the same. It kind of goes with the first thing that I was talking about, how they are not able to express their feelings. And in a weird way, we have to accept that about them, because there's no way that we can change this about them. We can't force somebody to talk about their feelings. We can't force somebody to be respectful to us. We can't do any of these things. The only thing that we can do is control ourselves and control how we're feeling. So the only thing that we can do in this moment is to kind of accept what has happened to us, and really the best way to forgive is to understand the other person. So all the stuff that I'm talking about understanding how they maybe can't express their feelings, or how they don't know a good way to express that now what we had together is now ending. So it's kind of all about accepting other people and where they are in their lives. So the second thing is, more of the third thing, who's counting, right? is that people let fear control them, right? So I don't know how long you guys been following me, but I talk a lot about love and fear, right? Because to me, love is the only thing that's real, right? Fear is only an illusion. So they're the complete polar opposites, right? Like the opposite of love is fear. So people are feeling very fearful of maybe how you would react. So they don't tell you that, whatever you had was over. So they're using fear instead of love and compassion. Like the love and compassionate thing would be, being honest with the person and telling them how you feel. And they're just using fear and letting fear drive them in their decisions. And obviously they're quote unquote making the wrong one, because honestly, like, having something that meant something at some point just end abruptly is not exactly the most loving and compassionate thing to do. So people are using fear, and that's actually a very normal thing. A lot of people in our society use fear and make a lot of fear-based decisions in their life. So this makes sense, and the more that we can accept that, they're being driven by that, and realizing that, they're just, fear can be very paralyzing. And in that moment, they just decided to do what was most comfortable to them, because it could be uncomfortable to tell somebody, how they're really feeling. So, and it could be really scary, obviously. So, yeah, so that could be another reason. They're just using fear instead of love. And so I wrote something down, and it's not really why people do it. I think I really covered that. If we can, like, really understand